Hotepu, gatekeepers, and our allies. This is His Royal Majesty Ra Smebathak Beyemi, the world's first openly gay African pharaoh. And the function of a king is to feed and protect his people. And today I wish to give you the spiritual food of an actual, for the first time I'm doing live or publicly, an actual Kemetic astrology chart. I'm going to walk you through the algorithm that I use to analyze a chart from a Kemetic astrology perspective, which is a new way of looking at astrology, yet it is the oldest, most ancient way of looking at astrology. And we give praise to the gay ancestors that revealed this to my person. I honor them, I love them, and may they live for eternity. Okay, so on the screen here you see Oprah Winfrey's chart. Any astrology program can generate this chart. And you see a wheel, you see planets, you see constellations and stars. Typical things you would see in any chart. But what I want to actually do is show you from a Kemetic perspective her chart. So, first of all, there's a secret calculation that I do. It's like a home recipe where the cook never really shares how they made that dish, but when you eat it, it's perhaps quite good. I also guard my recipes, guard my secrets of how I calculate the charts. And that's the key thing I want to make clear to you all. If you try to copy my technique, you're not going to get it, because the key is in the math. And the math is the way that I program the defaults in the astrology programs, the astrology software. It's the defaults that I use that make the charts generated so accurate. And that is definitely house secrets, home recipes. But based upon my algorithm, Oprah was born here in the 7th Kmetic month. You see here the gods and goddesses of the months of the year. Here's number 1 through 12. Oprah was born here in the 7th month called Rekech Negis or Rekech Nigis. Rekech Nigis. Rekech means flame or fire or heat, and Nigis means small, as a small child. Here's a glyph. It means small, innocent, commoner, or underling, underdog. And it so happens that this 7th month of Sirius, what we call Sopedu, is in the 3rd season of Peret. The Kamau had 3 seasons, and their 3 seasons were Akhet, Peret, and Shemu. Peret was the middle of the 3 seasons, called the season of growth. Akhet is the flooding, Peret is the growing, and Shemu is the harvesting. So Oprah was born in the 7th Sirius month, called Rekech Nigis, in the 2nd season of Peret, in Peret's 3rd month. Each season has 4 months. Okay? Now, let's start there. First of all, Oprah was born in this 7th month. Okay? Now, Rekech Nigis, the fire or the heat of the underling. This tells us, because the Kemetic calendar really tells you your purpose on Earth, why you came to Earth. It's very similar to and more detailed than an Ifa head reading, which also tells you why you came to Earth. When you combine the reading of the head with the oracles, you combine the oracle reading with your astrology chart here, it's an immensely accurate predictor of your life's path. So she's born in the month of the flame or fire of the underling. Was not Oprah the supreme underling? The not most beautiful black young woman, overweight. She was raped and there were no black women on television during her time coming up. She was definitely the underling. But she had a fire in her. She had a heat in her, a burning desire to not let the underling status of her condition dictate to her. She's going to burn through that. You see, immediately, the Kemetic chart tells you a major thrust of her destiny. Now, it so happens the goddess of this month happens to be Ta'urt, called Big Mama. Ta'urt, Ta means land, Urt means great. I call her Big Mama. Ta'urt in the Dendera zodiac is in the northern sky, or the center of the Dendera zodiac. You see a hippo woman with long breasts, and she's pregnant, standing erect. Ta'urt, Big Mama, means big earth, big land, big property. She is a goddess of wealth. She often wears the cow horns, the sun disk cow horns of Heteru, a goddess of wealth, money, and luxury, a goddess of fame and likability, of friends and social skills. All these things Oprah is seething with. So she's born in the month of Big Mama, Big Mama's money. Big Mama, before Ma'at, the Hall of Ma'at became the vogue in Kemet, the deceased were judged in the Hall of Ta'urt, the Earth Mother, in that your afterlife was judged by how you dealt with your life on Earth. And then later on, Ma'at took over that role, and it became the Hall of Ma'at. So Ta'urt is very ethical. She's very ecological. She's very aware of how you treat the Earth, how you treat your life on Earth. She's a pregnant hippo, meaning she birthed you on Earth from the spirit world, and she's aware of how you're treating her as the Earth. So Oprah is very conscientious of the world, conscientious of the planet, the need for unifying people, for showing we're all connected, we're all from the same source, the same mother, we are all family in the end, we have the same problems, the same desires. This has been very strong in Oprah. And being born in the month of the pregnant hippo means Oprah was destined to birth something new. Something new that would unify people, show us we're all the same family, we all have the same parentage in the end. And we're in fact one. Now, in the other screen you saw here, she has the Archer rising Sagittarius as her rising or ascendant degree. And one could say, well, she's going to be philosophical, a teacher, she's going to be very expansive, very charitable and sharing. So you can see it's iterated in both charts, in both systems. But the Kmetic one is more precise. It identifies her as an underling, one full of fire. That's very specific, actually. It identifies her as a woman of power, Ta'urt, Big Mama. So she's going to mother the world. She wants to birth a new vision, a new path. She's very ethical, like Ta'urt. Sagittarius is also ethical, so we see that bouncing back and forth in terms of iterating itself. Okay, but let's go on the Kemetic way. So she was born on the 22nd day of the month of Rekechnigis. Now, the Egyptian months have all 30 days. Every month has no more or no less than 30 days. Now, each month of 30 days has 3 weeks, but the weeks there are 10 days long, not 7. We call a week a decan or a group of 10. So Oprah was born on the 22nd day, which would be the third decan, because 10, then 20, plus 2. So the first decan would be 1 to 10, second from 11 to 20. Third decan begins from 20 to 30, but she's on the 22nd. So she's in the third week of the month of Rekechnigis. So the third week deals a lot with creating balance, because of the triangle, the first stabilized geometric shape. And the 22nd day corresponds to the number 4, because 2 plus 2 is 4. So if we go to the famous Leiden Papyrus, which has these various scriptures in it, and we read the 40th or the 400th stanza, the stanza is based upon the fours. In the 400th stanza it says, is found Kamutfe, bull of his mother, who gives birth to that which is and that which is not, as the father of fathers, the mother of mothers. Now, think of Oprah, the bull of her mother. She is a bull. She is strong. She is powerful. She is a force to be dealt with. Bull of her mother, Mutfe. Her mother is humanity in this sense. Who gives birth to that which is and that which is not. You see, so she's going to birth. It's iterated again on the day she's born, that she's going to give birth to something which has been and which shall also become. That is, as Oprah Winfrey, a pioneering black female mogul. The mother of mothers and fathers of fathers. She's everyone's mother, she's everyone's father. That's very precise in terms of defining her destiny. Now, I'm going to click the screen a bit. It'll take me a little while because I must double click to get each page to flip. We're going to go to, well, I might as well, since I'm near it here. She was born under this deacon, Sasasert, this star here, number 21, Sasasert, which shows a woman holding a staff of authority facing 2 stars. And these stars are near the constellation of Pegasus. And Pegasus is about a foundation, it's about knowledge, it's about information, it's about teaching. And here we have a female teaching. Sasaseret means something like, we have 2 geese, Sasa, which means wealth, wealth. The goose is the god Geb, who is the god of money. So we can read it as doubly wealthy. And the word seret here, seret means a fan, like for cooling off yourself when it's hot. Seret also means an arrow. So we have here doubly rich fan, doubly rich arrow. Meaning Oprah's always been very focused on wealth, very focused on abundance, very focused on prosperity. She also has a cool approach to it, like a fan, a cooling approach. She's not on drugs and alcohol and strung too high where she can't process her success. Like the fan, the word seret, she's very cool-headed about it. Again, just by looking not even at a chart, we're looking at just simply the glyphs that control the day she's born on. So this 3rd week was called Sasasert, and the gods of this month were called Dwamutfe and Kepsenufe. Dwamutef or Kepsenuf, some say. And these are gods of the canopic jars. And the canopic jars deal a lot with the stars Orion. They were called the sons of Heru, the sons of leadership. And Dwamutfe and Kepsenuf deal with the intestines and the stomach. And the stomach deals a lot with your self-image, how you see yourself. Okay? And she clearly had a self-image that was not given to her, it was from within her. She was not told you can be the world's richest woman, black woman, you can take over the whole industry of interviewing and of television. She had Dwamutfe in her stomach. She was digesting a self-image of great power, of Taurt. I am Big Mama. I am the big power. Okay? Now, she was, I want to go back actually. Oh my goodness. What is the screen doing? Let's see if I can do this. without much difficulty here on this screen. Here. Now, I had a video where I discussed the Hindu nakshatras, the fixed stars of the Hindu astrology system, and I linked the nakshatras to the Egyptian royal cubit of 28 finger breadths. Oprah was born in a nakshatra called Anuradha, which is the 17th nakshatra. We call it Hekwo, here, shown here. It has this hook of authority, particularly a feminine power. This glyph means, Hek means staff of power. It also means words of power. It means to control, to have dominion over, to command. Hek, or Hekwa. Okay? So clearly, she was born on the 17th day in the sense that she commands the staff of power, particularly the feminine staff of power, whereas the flail was more the male sense of power. The hook, it was a shepherd's hook for grabbing the sheep softly and pulling them back to the corral. That Oprah has a way of pulling you in. She doesn't scare you, she doesn't threaten you. She has a very gentle way of just kind of hooking beneath your fleece and gently nudging you back to your sense of who you are. This is clearly seen on this glyph of the day of the star that controls her, the nakshatra. Now, the Hindu or Dravidian Anuradha, which is Hek in Egyptian, Anuradha means the one. Radha was the friend of Krishna. Krishna was a very little. He was a god who played a blue form god. He had blue skin, played a flute. He's very much like Ahi, the god of joy and music and divine bliss and divine lust and joy for the spirit world. So Krishna had a best friend named Radha. Radha was not his wife. Krishna had other wives, but Radha was his best friend. So Anuradha is ruled by a god in the Dravidian system of India called Mitra, which means friend. So Oprah was everyone's friend. Everyone loves Oprah. She was friend to the world. And just like Oprah, Anuradha was not married. Anuradha was the best friend of Krishna. Oprah's not married. She and Sema are best friends who are in a relationship. The parallels are extraordinary. And we're seeing how layering the systems, you get a richer and more full interpretation of what's going on here. Okay? So Anuradha is about friendship and being detached in a way that's healthy. Friendship, this star does a lot with being able to spill your guts, because it's easier to spill your guts to your friend than it is even to your mate or your parents. With a friend, you feel safe. You feel it's okay. They're not going to judge me. They're going to support me. Wasn't that Oprah's style of her TV show? You can tell her anything to millions of people, and she would make you feel not judged. She'd make you feel warm and embraced, like she's your friend. And that's how she pulled you in with this staff, this hook. Okay? So we're going to try to click over a few pages to try another technique of flipping the pages. Let's see what works here. I'm going to try to slide the cursor instead of clicking each page. Let's see what happens here. There we go. Okay. I don't want to miss my page, so let me have to click from here on. By the way, here's Taurt. Here she is. It's a bit, you got to twist your head a bit, but here she is, the big hippo mama with her pendulous breasts, and she's pregnant here, holding this staff here, this symbol here, which is part of the eye of Heru. But what I want to go to, and she was born as a Sagittarius rising, and in my last video I discussed how this constellation is vicious. It's a vicious star. It expands. It likes to go on war campaigns and conquer territories. It is the African sniper. It is a man on a horseback with a sniper gun here, an arrow, bow and arrow. Okay? And notice it has these wings. It has a scorpion's tail, so it's kind of vicious. Here has that lion's face and a man's face. So Oprah has two faces. A public face, which she shows as being, civil and humane, but behind that is a very mean, aggressive businesswoman. Okay? And then, let's see if we can find, here we are. Now, Oprah was born on the 10th lunar day. Again, I'm so sorry, you have to tilt your head to see this here. This is the Egyptian lunar calendar. These are the gods of the waxing moon, because they're going up a stairway, getting brighter and brighter, the stairway of light. And in this circle, we have 14 squatting gods, which are the 14 days of the waning moon. Okay. Oprah was born the 10th lunar day, waning. Now, here in the waxing, this stairwell, we have the gods shown in their forms. Whereas here they all look alike. In the waning form, they all look alike. They're all basically the same form. What this means is that these waning gods, when the moon is getting dark, on those 14 days of darkness, of growing darkness, it's the same as these gods of the bright half, except they're resting. They're becoming more anonymous, more inward, less distinguishable. Okay, so let's count. Here we have Heteru as the first day of the moon. So let's count up to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, boom, 10. This is the god Geb, the god of earth, money, and external worldly power. The day you're born on in terms of the moon, what phase of the moon you're born in. Okay, she's born a few days after the half waning moon, what I call the dying quarter moon. The moon phase you're born on tells us a lot about what makes you happy, where your bliss is, what brings you joy. And Geb is the god of money, the god of material, worldly, physical resources. So you're seeing immediately the Kmetic system is identifying what makes her heart sing. She's very focused on wealth. Now, in the Dravidian system, the 10th day is called Dashami, the day of the 10th, and it's ruled by what's called the Drigs, D-R-I-G-S, which are the goddesses of the 10 directions, up and down, and the 8 ordinal and cardinal directions. But these 10 goddesses deal with protecting something, like Ta'ur, Big Mama, protects her babies. That Oprah is dealing a lot with protecting what she creates. This makes you a very good business person. And she is a guardian, like Ta'urt, of what is created and a support to others who are creative. This 10th moon day deals a lot with aristocrats, royalty, those who are meant to guard humans. Okay, and they often have very pure, wise, temperate, liberal, humble leadership qualities, and a very keen sense of scriptures and sacred books. They love to protect other people, you see? And Oprah loves to do this. So, the next thing we look at in the Kemetic calendar is we start here, the names of the days of the month and their gods. So she was born, as I mentioned before, on the 22nd day of the month of Rekeh Nijis, the flame of the underling. So we look at this 22. We discussed it already, 22, and I read the scripture from the Lunar Papyrus of the 400th stanza, which talked about mother of mothers, father of fathers, etc., mother to the world, father to the world. The name of that day is called Heb Peh Sopedu. The festival of arriving at Sirius. Okay, and here's the glyph. Pech sopedu heb. Okay. Okay, pech means to arrive. Pech means to attain, to secure. Clearly, Oprah has arrived. Clearly, Oprah has secured her place. Yes? Pech means to arrive at the end of a journey, to attain to a place, to reach, to accomplish. It means the beginning of something or the ending of something. Okay? Pech also means the bolts of a door, which she broke open. She arrived, and the word pech has the sense of a rear guard of an army. She came as an army. She had Harpo Studios, she built her own army, and she made it to the top of her field. She arrived. Pech. The word sopedu here means to provide, or the star Sirius, the great provider, the brightest star in the sky. Wasn't it interesting that she was born on the day ruled by the brightest star in the sky? There's no black woman on the planet more famous than Oprah Winfrey. There are few women on the planet more famous than Oprah Winfrey. She is the brightest star in her field. She's the brightest star in her industry. She's the alpha, the big mama. And she arrived. Now, the god of that day is called Nai. Okay, now Nai has several meanings. Nai can mean good or benevolent, which Oprah is. As a businesswoman, she makes it her intent to be benevolent towards people. But Nai can be also a serpent of evil. To be that powerful, you must have a little bit of evil in you, a little bit of wickedness. You have to be able to have the dark in you as well as the light. So this does imply she's got a really tough, aggressive side to her, and you don't want to cross her. Also, Nai can mean to, again, arrive or to come upon a journey, and to make sure that you attain your goal, Nai, in a benevolent fashion. The word Nai also means to have sympathy with someone. Again, Oprah has all those traits. Look how amazingly well this is reading her character, her destiny. Okay? So, that's basically how we begin to look at the Kemetic astrology chart. Now, the next thing we look at very quickly are what's called her heliacal rising stars. And look here. I've discussed in other videos on my YouTube channel heliacal rising stars. It's key, if you're able to listen to those. I won't review that right now. But Sirius, she was born on a day when Sirius was rising as the heliacal rising star. The heliacal rising star basically means your promise to your ancestors. She promised to be the brightest star in the world. Sirius deals with attaining great success at a high cost. You have to sacrifice a lot. If Sirius is going to touch you, it's called the scorcher. Remember the month she's born in, Rekeh, which means burning. So Sirius, when it contacts your chart, makes you great, but at a very high price. You're going to have to earn that reward. So it says here, an awareness of the importance of the moment, seeing the big picture. Clearly, Oprah is aware of the moment that she has come to bring, her mission, the big picture of her life, of her career, and of her contribution to humanity. Then she has as her heliacal setting star Vega, here, the poetic soul seeking the magic of life. Vega does a lot with hypnosis. It deals a lot with being able to bewitch people. It was the harp of Orpheus, where he would go into the underworld and he could bewitch the underworld beings with his beautiful music. And Oprah's way of talking and of opening you up, it's bewitching. It hits your emotions. It goes into your underworld, your deep emotions, your deep issues. All of that she can, in a very beautiful and gracious way, open you up to. in front of millions of people. If we look here, Heliacal Rising Star Series, this phrase, it's another way of saying the same thing as over here, is that the potential of a historical event. She knew she was a moment in history, a great moment in history, and she took it. She didn't whine and cry and make excuses. She took it and ran. And Vega means a time of wonder, a time of awe, and she truly is an awesome force in her field, truly. And she has here some stars on the angle of her chart when she was born. Murzim, an opinionated person, someone who speaks out. Well, she was an interviewer, a talk show host. Canopus, an independent person who takes control of their life. Well, that's clearly her. Acrux, a lifestyle that embraces the material world of money or power. Clearly Oprah. Anka, a resilience to life's ups and downs. Clearly she could bounce back and stay on top. So you're seeing here the rich, quick power of a Kemetic reading, of Kemetic astrology. We saw that she was born in the 7th month of the underling on fire, under the month of the Big Mama, who's focused on money and protecting what she builds, on the day of being mothers and fathers of fathers, when she is going to be the brightest star in the sky and attain success, and that she's going to conquer the evil serpents. She has an aggressive side, and she's benevolent and kindly. She was born on the 10th lunar day, which was the day of the 10, it's called the 10 virgins, and Oprah's not married. And her virginity was taken from her as a young girl. The 10th day deals a lot with Geb, the god of money, and with friendship. Oprah's everyone's friend. Oprah's everyone's confidant. And she was born under the star Hek Anuradha, meaning she can command the world. She can pull you in very softly, but very powerfully. All this can be quickly read in a Kemetic astrology chart. And again, I want to thank the great gatekeeper ancestors, the gay ancestors of Kemet, that brought this science back, did all the math, and showed me how to weave this back together, to fix the broken sky, to repair the limbs of Nut, the great cow goddess. Her limbs were weak and trembling, and through them I was graced to repair the strength of the legs of the great sky goddess Nut. So, this was a brief insight into Kemetic astrology, and the Heliacal stars were first invented or discovered by the Kamau in Egypt. They are much more star-oriented than planet-oriented. I didn't even discuss planets in this chart. I didn't even talk about her planets and their signs and their angles. That's a whole other level I can go into. But without even any of that, look how well we're able to pin her destiny. The planets tell you more about the adventure you'll have along the destiny. The Kemetic astrology chart that we just went through, the month and the deacons and the fixed star and all that kind of thing, it reveals why you're here. The planetology side of astrology, the part you probably know about, your Venus and Mars and Saturn square, Jupiter, whatever, that tells you the ups and downs of your adventure along the path explained by your Kemetic level of your reading. It also tells you when you're going to have those ups and downs. It schedules your ups and downs and reveals how you will tend to respond to your life's challenges by your transits. So it dovetails beautifully with regular astrology because it all came from Kemet, from the Nile Valley of Africa. But we are the first people, the royal astrologers of my throne are the first to bring back this detailed application of this ancient tradition of Kemet as an astrology prediction system. So I pray you enjoyed this. I pray it was enlightening and entertaining, and I will soon, in the future, be offering classes on this, online classes or retreats and workshops on this technique. It's fantastic to know your life's destiny from the Kemetic science. It reads so well and so clearly. And then if you have a reading, like we have the Great Oracle of Ra, you have the Ifa Oracle, if you then combine your head reading with this chart system of Kemet, of the gay astrology, you will know exactly why you're here, exactly your mission, when you're going to have your problems, and how to best respond to them. Your life is so well mapped out now by reviving this gay Kemetic astrology technology. So, remember, keep your head up and that you are a star. Dwawend Hotepu.